Greetings to you all and welcome to the Manifested E-Learning Forum. In our today's session, we will conclude the subtopic on theories of change. We've been studying the theories of change under the topic leadership and strategic change. And candidates, we learned that change is not an easy matter. Change can sometimes be complex when being initiated in an organization. That's why we are studying the different change management models. So far we've studied the Kotler's change management model. We've done McKinsey's model, the Adkar model, Kubler-Ross model. Today we will consider the last model, which is Lewin's, Kurt Lewin's theory of change. Theory of change. Kurt Lewin's theory of change. Now, candidates, the Lewin's change management theory is one of the most popular and accepted as well as effective change management models. Lewin's change management model describes in a very simple way the main three stages that every change management process has to go through. The first one is the pre-change stage, the change or during the change stage and post-change stage. There are three main stages in the Kurt Lewin's theory of change. It's a very simple way, it's a very simple model. There are three stages. I repeat, the pre-change stage, number two, the during change stage, and post-change stage. And because of its simplicity, candidates, many organizations choose to follow the model when implementing change because it helps companies better understand organizational and structural change. I've said it consists of three stages, which can also be referred to as, these are stages, three stages. The first one is unfreezing stage, This is the pre-change stage, the unfreezing stage. Then number two, we have the change. Stage number one, you unfreeze, you change, then you refreeze, refreezing. Stage. So this is the pre-change stage. This is the pre-change stage. This is the during change stage and post-change stage. Pre-change, during change, and post-change stage. Three stages. So let's first discuss the unfreezing stage. The unfreezing stage. Now, for Lewin candidates, human behavior, according to Lewin, is based on what is known as the quasi-stationary equilibrium that is supported by a complex field of forces. And before the old behavior can be discarded or unlearned, a new behavior is successfully adopted, the equilibrium needs to be destabilized. The old behavior needs to do what? To be destabilized. That is what we are calling unfreezing. The old behavior has to be unfrozen. And Lewin did not believe that this would be an easy thing. Unlearning is not an easy thing. Before anything new is initiated or put in place, then according to Lewin, the old behavior has to be discarded, the old behavior has to be unfrozen, and so on. So there has to be unfreezing. And I've said that unfreezing is not as easy as it seems, but it's a complex process. It's not an easy thing, because we all know that human beings are creatures of habit. Human beings, when they develop a habit, unlearning habits, unlearning behavioral patterns takes time. It's not an easy thing. And Lewin did not believe that that is an easy thing, or that Lewin did also not believe that this technique could be applied in all situations, because candidates, there has to be the breaking of the shell. To break open the shell of complacency and to break open the shell of self-righteousness is sometimes necessary to bring about emotional startup. And the crucial step here, candidates, is to enhance open employee communication, explaining why change is necessary, and so on. So unfreezing may need a bit of convincing the employees why change is necessary, why change is maybe important to them. So there has to be some communication, there has to be some explaining, and unfreezing is when candidates' inertia is overcome and existing habits and mindsets are broken. And the goal of unfreezing candidates is to overcome employee resistance to change as much as possible. That is the unfreezing stage, the pre-change stage. Before change is initiated in the second step, there has to be unfreezing, unlearning, breaking the shell of complacency. And that will entail communication, helping the employees, preparing the employees for the change that is to take place in the second stage. Second stage is change. This is the during change phase. During change phase. So candidates, unfreezing or unlearning is not an end in itself. It's not an end in itself. Why? Because it creates motivation to learn, but does not necessarily control or predict the direction. And it is necessary to take into account all the forces at work and identify and evaluate the available options. So candidates, change learning approach enables groups and individuals to move to a more acceptable set of behaviors. And in step number 2, this is now the stage in which change gets implemented. Change gets implemented in step number 2. And continuing on the first stage, good leadership and effective employee communication is a crucial in the second phase. Remember, in step number 1, we began with communication. The managers have to communicate to employees to help them unlearn, to prepare them for the change in the second phase. Likewise, in the second phase, managers are also expected to show leadership and direction through communicating with the employees in order for the change to be effective. Then in the third stage, which is known as refreezing, here, this stage seeks to stabilize the group at a new quasi-stationary equilibrium in order to ensure that the new behaviors are relatively safe from regression. Now, refreezing ensures that the employees are stable in terms of the new behaviors that are developed as a result of the change. Remember, it's a progression. Here there is unlearning, then employees are prepared for the change takes place. But in stage number 3, there has to be a new quasi-equilibrium that is set. The managers should ensure that there is no regression to the old behavioral patterns. The new behaviors must be, to some extent, to some degree, congruent with the rest of the behavior, the rest of personality, and the environment of the learner, or it will simply lead to a new round of disconfirmation. So there has to be refreezing, right? What we are calling post-change phase. Post-change phase. And that's why candidates, Lewin saw it, Lewin, this is Kurt Lewin, who is the propounder of this theory, saw successful change as a group activity, because unless group norms and routines are also transformed, then changes to individual behavior will not be sustainable. And in organizational terms, refreezing often requires changes to organizational culture, changes to norms, changes to policies, and also changes to practices within the organization. And this is the stage in which change is accepted and employees go back to their routine. This stage is when new mindsets, new habits are formed and become established. And a degree of psychological comfort is also restored during the refreezing stage. And leaders should make sure that changes are adopted and used even after the change management objectives have been achieved. So this is a simple change management model that comprises of 3 stages: the unfreezing stage, the change phase, and the refreezing phase. 3 stages. 1, 2, 3. And candidates, the Kurt-Lewis theory of change is as simple as that. Before we close the lesson, I'm going to give you one question. And this question was tested in the leadership and management paper that was done on Wednesday, 15th of December, 2021. The question is number 3, question 3. I read, good leadership entails continually renewing an organization's direction, structure, and capabilities to serve the ever-changing needs of external and internal customers. With reference to the above statement, discuss the 3 stages in Kurt-Lewin's change model 6 marks. Candidates, I want you to attempt that question. When answering the question, make sure your notebook is closed. Try and see if you can recall what you have learned in our today's lesson from your memory. Thank you. God bless you.